And it's because we gather as a body and ask for this transformation, for this bread and this wine, that somehow we also know that we are being transformed by consuming it and by participating in the service itself. Somehow, through our gathering and hearing lessons and offering prayer and celebrating at this table, we are transformed. Little bits by little bits, or maybe big bits by big bits, depends on the week. For me, I don't know about you. There's something significant that happens, even if we can't tell you molecularly how that happens or chemically what gets changed. We know something important is happening. And we know it isn't just an individual thing. We know it's about the body gathered. Did you know that a priest cannot preside a Eucharist by him or herself? Someone else has to be here. One of the clergy I served with said that whoever was behind the altar rail, that head count had to be out in the pews before he was willing to go forward with communion. So if you had the choir up here, it got a little interesting some Sundays, right? He's been known to put the choir out there, actually, because it was important to him to have balance, to have a congregation with whom to celebrate the Eucharist. He's the one that taught me about being the presider instead of the celebrant. He said, everybody is the celebrant. Everybody is celebrating. You are presiding at the table, but you are not the celebrant. I was like, yes, sir. Besides, it made sense. So this is all about remembering the story of God's love for us, individually and collectively. It's about praying together for God's forgiveness. It's about praying together for God's healing. It's about the need for God's action in the world and our lifting those needs up to God as a body, as a part of the body of Christ. And then we remember Jesus' words to have this meal, to do this ritual, to remind us of Jesus' life and death and resurrection, and of our wanting to seek the kingdom, like Saul and David, our wanting to do God's will as we discern it and as we give it our best shot. We too are not perfect. We too are going to fall short. That's why we have confession during the service. But it doesn't impair our gathering and our being effective and our being. We become a portion of the body of Christ that is greater and more powerful than any one of us or any small collection of us can be. It's in our gathering that we assemble the gifts and the graces and the skills and the talents of St. Edmunds Church. It's in our gathering that we are empowered to live our lives as followers of the way of Jesus. It's from this gathering that we each go back home, changed and empowered because we have been here and because we have participated. It's just that simple. Something happens. I have a t-shirt. I couldn't find it or I would have brought it. It's got a chalkboard and it's got two guys writing on the chalkboard. And there's all this formula over here and there's all this formula over here and these two men looking at it. And there's a little something written in the middle on the chalkboard. And the caption says, yes, yes, I understand this part and I understand this part, but you need to do a little more work on the middle. And in the middle it says, something happens. I use it for my Easter sermon a lot because that's kind of what the resurrection's about, isn't it? But it's also what Eucharist is about. Ordinary bread, ordinary wine, ordinary people using ordinary words. And all those ordinary things become extraordinary, extraordinary, when God transforms them, offers them back to us, and when we receive them. Little by little, we who are ordinary become extraordinary, living our lives as followers of the way, as followers of Jesus, and maybe even getting a little